Look in the mirror. See yourself for who you really are. You got to tell yourself the truth. So look in the mirror, look at yourself in the eyes and tell yourself the truth. Who are you? Are you doing what you should be doing? Are you working hard enough to become who you know you should become?
The bad days create the story that I'm one day going to tell myself about what I got through. Without the bad days, the story would be way more lame. There would be no glory in overcoming anything, because what did you overcome?
When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person that walked into it. That's what the storm is all about. When you can't control what's happening to you, control how you respond to it. That's where your power is.
Never, ever quit.
You don't start things and not finish them. You don't quit.
And I've seen people quitting. And if they would have held out longer, they would have been successful. I've seen it so much.
There's nothing that comes out of quitting besides knowing that you didn't finish. We finish everything. You start it, finish it. If you're gonna do it to try and be the best.
Hey, guess what? It's gonna be the hardest thing you ever did. It's gonna take fucking a long ass time. It's probably gonna take 3 or 4 times as long as you think it's gonna take. Along the way, you're gonna lose all your fucking friends. You're probably gonna lose some significant others too along that way. You're gonna get made fun of, you're gonna get bullied, you're gonna get harassed, you're going to struggle, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to owe people money, you're going to fuck up your bank account. There's gonna be multiple fucking days where you don't think that you're gonna make it. And those days sometimes last for months. Nobody's gonna relate to you. No one's gonna understand why you're doing it. Everybody's gonna question it. You're gonna have to answer it every single time, and it's gonna piss you off. And bro, this is the life that you're choosing. Like, you're choosing it, so you can't be surprised that it's hard. This is what the fuck you're signing up for.
Man, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's gonna happen how it's gonna happen. You worrying about it ain't gonna change it, right? It's just gonna make you lose sleep about it, get stressed out about it. But you worrying about it ain't gonna change the situation, because you just thinking about it, right? You can't change it. If it's gonna happen and manifest, it's gonna happen and manifest. We cross the bridge when it gets there. But when you worry about something, more times than not, it creates a negative connotation and perspective upon what you're worrying about. The fear of something happening oftentimes is more powerful than it even happening. Oftentimes you're worrying about the fear of something happening, that the fear and the thought becomes more powerful than the actual manifestation of it happening.
Don't do things just because you think you're gonna get something for it. That's not why we do things. Yeah. Do what's interesting to you. Follow what's interesting. Don't worry about the outcome. We don't know. We can't predict the outcome. We can never predict the outcome. Follow your own inner guide. It directs us. It might not make sense. It might not make sense to us. Might not make sense to anyone else. Certainly won't make sense to anyone else. But it might not even make sense to us. And that's okay. It's fine. Listen to yourself. Why is it telling you this?
For the most part, you're going to run into challenges in life. And if you curl up into a ball and complain about it, that's not going to help you. And if you say, okay, cool, good, here's some adjustments I can make to move forward, that's going to be a better move than cowering.
A man's most valuable, most important resource is his good name. If a man ain't got a good name, he ain't got nothing. So don't lie. Be respectful. Be respectful to others. Be respectful to your elders. Even if they're not respectable, they still been through life enough. Their position earns them what their behavior won't.
The biggest life lesson that I've learned is the power of the mind, and just how important it is to look at yourself at a high regard and to believe in yourself. I think in order to paint a bright future for yourself, you have to be able to see it in your mind. You have to believe in it, and the more you believe in it, the more your world will start to change, and the more you'll just start to see your beliefs come to pass.
Even if things are going really well for you now, there's going to be a time in the future where things are rough. You're going to be ill, family members going to be ill, a dream is going to fall apart, you're going to be uncertain about your employment status. Like the flood is coming, right? The apocalypse is coming. It's always the case in life. And you have to be prepared for it. And the question is how to prepare for it. And the answer to that is to find a way of being that works even under the direst of circumstances.
You need to stop listening to others and start listening to yourself. But the problem is nobody knows how to listen to themselves. They're scrolling on TikTok, music on loud every day. When they're driving, fucking radio turned on. When was the last time you sat down and defined your symphony of success? What does success look like to you? To me, it's not having a ton of properties and living in a big fat box and having a ton of supercars. No, to me, it's freedom.
So today, don't think about it. Don't talk about it. Don't wish for it. Go for it. Dive, move, start, act. Trust me, it's the only way to get there.
It's a choice. You'll get through it. Wake up It's a choice to be happy. It's a choice to be sad. So come on, like buck up.
Right.
You got this. Move on. When a lot of times you just wake up blue and you don't have that choice, and it's not that easy. You just don't turn it on or turn it off.
I wish more people were more gentle with themselves and more forgiving. You don't have a lot of people in life that are gonna come and fight for you. It bothers me to my core when I see people just be negative on themselves, be hard on themselves, not be a fan of themselves. And I get it, like, you understand the imperfections of your own life, but if you're not a fan of yourself, nobody's gonna be a fan of you. If you don't fight for yourself, nobody's gonna fight for you. It really bothers me, the victim mentality that people have regarding themselves. And if you can escape that victim mentality, you can tap into the opposite side, which is hope. And it's understanding that you can become an extremely better person.
People don't like greatness. They envy it. And that's the pressure you feel, you know, because you want to prove them wrong so bad, but at the end of the day, you're really just trying to prove yourself right. So when you start to think about, you know, the pressure and the hate and all of that stuff, it just adds on and distracts you from where you're trying to go. But I knew I had to keep pushing. So every time I hit a milestone, it wasn't a celebration. It was just like, let's keep going. Another step in the journey. Because they waiting on us to fall off, you know?
Successful people plan their day the night before. If you just wake up and go, gosh, what should I do this morning? How do I feel? And you let the day or your feelings determine your day. You let how you slept determine what you're gonna do, you're fucked.
You can't have an easy life and a great character. Show me a trust fund kid that inherited a bunch of money, and I'll show you someone mentally tortured. Having stuff isn't fun. Getting stuff is fun, right? It's not the pursuit of happiness. It's the happiness of the pursuit, right? It's that thing, and it's not like, you know, the self-help, it's not the journey, it's the destination. It's not either the journey or the destination. It's who you become on the journey. And here's the terrible thing about life. It's self-assignment.
People have tried to cut corners and skip steps in this process for as long as hard work has been hard. Eventually, those people either fall behind or get left in the dust, because working your ass off is the only thing that works 100% of the time for 100% of the things worth achieving. Work works. That is the bottom line. No matter what you do, no matter who you are, my entire life has been shaped by that single idea.
And even if you're not where you want to be in life and you're grinding and you're on that hustle.
And there's a lot of people like that, right?
I get it. Keep grinding, but also appreciate it. Appreciate that hustle. Appreciate this thing. Appreciate this fucking beautiful, chaotic, unknown existence you're in.
Thing we call life.
Yeah, that you don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. It's open-ended. It's wide.
Yes, man.
It's a complete open loop experience. You don't know what the fuck is coming next, and you're just trying to enjoy the ride.
Look, guys, you're gonna suffer. And you wanna suffer stupidly too? Because that's even worse. And then do you wanna contemplate for a moment what's going to be your arc when the storms come? Well, I can tell you what it is. And you already know this because you've consulted your own conscience. When you're awake at 3 a.m. thinking about what a useless bastard you are, how many sins you have on your conscience, if you're fortunate, there'll be a few of your adventures come to mind where you think, well, you know, I didn't do so bad then. You know, maybe there's something to me.
Change is good. Yeah, but it's not easy. I know what I have to do, but going back means I'll have to face my past. I've been running from it for so long. Excuse me. Ow! Jeez, what was that for? It doesn't matter. It's in the past. Yeah, but it still hurts. Oh, yes, the past can hurt. But the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it.
It is absolutely your duty to become what it is you were meant to become that version of you that lives deep inside your heart, that only you know about, that you are too afraid to even tell people about because you think you're going to get laughed at. That version of you is who you were born to be.
I think you would give me everything you own in 25 years' time to be the age you are now and as healthy as you are right now. And I think it's a really interesting meditation to think about, right, if you had a time machine, if you were 30 years in the future, if you could be this healthy and feel this good and be this age, you'd give everything materially that you own in 30 years' time to be back here. And just to take that in for a minute, just to take a moment to think about wow, this is amazing.
You got to want it first. Then you got to work it. Then you have the opportunity to win it. But it all starts with your want. You got to want this. I can't want this for you. You got to want this like no other. Then the work has to happen. And see, the work and the want got to add up together to want each other. Then that puts you in a position to win. Ain't nobody giving you no W. You got to go take that thing, man.
You know, I really don't have regrets. I am a person that says, you know, as soon as you look back in your history and you come up with something that you feel like you want to change, something else has to change. You know, disappointment to me, to win, you got to lose. To be successful, you got to have something that's not successful. To be happy, you got to have disappointment. So I think all of those things have evolved and happened to make me who I am and understand the benefits and the privileges I have for being who I am, you know, and not to wear it on my sleeve, be very humble about it. That's one thing my parents taught me very well is, you know, don't wear your reputation, don't wear your accolades, don't wear your, you know, your personality on your sleeve. Let it happen, let it be you. It is who you are. Don't hide from it, but don't, you know, don't wear it and rub it in people's faces.
Go do something. Do the best thing that you can think of. Put the best plan you have into practice. It's not going to be perfect, and it will change along the way. But it will change partly because you become disciplined pursuing the path. And as you become disciplined, you become wiser. And as you become wiser, you become able to formulate better and better plans. So you can start vaguely and confused and develop a plan that's not so great, and you start to implement it. And then you accrue incremental wisdom as you implement your flawed plan. And that enables you to fix the plan. And so that's part of that process of incremental self-improvement as well.
Everything you going through is God preparing you for where he taking you. So now I had to develop this alligator skin. When you get out in the front, man, you get a lot of haters. And I say this to all my dudes, man, when I'm talking to them. You got to understand something about a hater. You've never had a hater that's doing better than you. Think of all your haters. Ain't none of your haters doing better than you. So now what's the purpose now? So you gotta understand now what it is. The haters is to throw you off track and distract you. And you gotta distract me because you see where I'm headed. But regardless of all the distractions, like say, I know how to get up. I'm gonna get up because it ain't about you. Haters are not decision makers, power brokers, or shakers and movers. Right. They just haters, man.
We are who we are when nobody's watching. If you want to know who you really are, be on your own. Go somewhere on your own, on holiday or whatever, and that's who you are. If you're driving along and you throw the soda can out of the window of the car, that's who you really are. No one does that with kids in the back. Monster. But if you do that, if that's who you, it's interesting to kind of note that. You know, it's the difference between character and reputation. You know, you really know who you are. Reputation is what everyone else thinks about you, but you know who you are in yourself.
And let me tell you something else. The comfort zone is dangerous. When you're comfortable, you are at most danger. The comfort zone is somewhere you should never feel comfortable. You should be happy and dissatisfied. Anybody ever tell you, hey, look, you know what? Just be satisfied with what you got. Don't believe them. Get them away from you. You should never be satisfied with what you got because the attempt to get more makes you into something better all the time. Don't let anybody tell you, hey, man, you know, you should just be happy with. No, you should double your business. Triple it.
I wish someone had told me in my 20s, Mel, take the biggest fucking risks of your entire life right now. Remember, you have time. And in your 20s, you can get so scared and you can be so easily lulled into the idea that good is good enough, that feeling safe and comfortable is what you should always be looking for. That way of thinking in your 20s in particular, dead fucking wrong. I want you to start to create this mindset of taking risks and going big. Because the only constant in your life for the rest of your life is change.
You just got to weather it and keep on walking and don't flinch. Don't let them know they got you. Don't let them know they got you. You just got to keep on going no matter what the day is, no matter what the move is, keep going. God gave us everything to point forward, to go forward. And what we doing at a standstill or stepping back, because we don't do that. We keep on walking.
regardless of what they say, what they think, and how they feel.
This is a hard world. Don't nobody give you nothing. You have to work for it, right?
Right.
So I'm blessed to be able to beat up everybody. So I want to beat up everybody until I can't beat them no more. If I can go 10 more years, I'm going to keep on doing it.